Developing discipline. Your capacity to carry out the challenging but necessary task when no one is pushing you to do so is referred to as self-discipline. People have the most difficulty with no one pushing you component of the rule. Your parents primarily instructed you what to do when you were a child. When you're at school, your teacher is the one giving you instructions. However, nobody actually cares about you that much as an adult. No one is available to provide information. Nobody will make you stay in line, and if you don't, the next person will take your place. This is primarily the cause of your discipline issues. It's quite simple to deal with oneself. You never really have to force yourself to do anything because you always let yourself win and take the longer stick. However, there is a workaround for this, and we'll explain it for you in this video. There is a trait that all highly disciplined people share, whether they serve in the military, as business owners, or as elite sports. They were placed in a situation where discipline was not just a pleasant to have, but a must. Either you are disciplined or you're out. The first step in developing discipline is to understand that the context negotiates the terms for you, not you. You must realize that discipline is developed inside a specific context. You don't really wake up one morning and decide that you're going to practice discipline. You need a valid justification in addition to modeling an environment where discipline is required to accomplish anything. When you had a ton of homework and assignments in college, the only way to finish them was to stop wasting time and get to work. There isn't a way around it, beneath it, or past it. You are not permitted to bargain with anyone or modify the terms of the assignment. You accept what you get, which makes it somewhat simpler to maintain discipline because someone provides a structure for you to follow, and your one and only responsibility is to actually carry it out. Nothing further needs to be done. However, there is no structure or background in the real world. You have to construct it yourself. Let's imagine, for instance, that you have two selections for your wedding attire and that it is 6 months away. Either you wear what now suits you or you purchase something more fitted. If you choose the second choice, you create a situation where you must practice discipline for the next 6 months. This is only one example, but this way of thinking can be applied to just about anything in life. You can choose to place yourself in a situation where discipline is necessary. You must decide. This is how it works at a macro level, but you can use the same logic to a micro level. The only way to accomplish it is through deadlines and limited time slots. It will take you longer to complete a task the more time you have available. It's like an unwritten life law that will always be true. If you have 3 days to complete a task, you'll think about it for the first 2 days and become anxious on the third day. For the majority of people, it is just how things are. Give yourself limited time if you wish to mimic a setting that demands discipline. Batching up tasks back to back is one approach to achieve it. Consider meetings as an example. One meeting may take 3 hours on any given day, but if you arrange 6 meetings in a period of 3 hours, you'll quickly realize that 30 minutes is more than enough time to efficiently solve out a problem. If it takes longer, someone is unprepared and is wasting everyone's time. So now that we have some background information, let's move on to the next crucial thing you need to acquire: high-value stakes. You need something incredibly significant to happen at the end. Say a friend phones and asks you to meet them for coffee tomorrow at 5 a.m. You might or might not do it. Let's assume, though, that the final flight back home departs at 5 a.m. tomorrow. You're definitely boarding that flight, otherwise you'll spend a holiday stranded at distance from your loved ones. You see, adding high stakes to the equation also includes an emotional component. You personalize it. You start to value it greatly and don't want to screw it up. The basis for your context is this: you need a reason to be disciplined if you want to learn discipline. It depends on the context, so you'll have to figure out this rationale on your own, but it's crucial to be specific. If you don't give yourself a compelling enough reason, you'll give up in a halfway through. So, we have a context that requires you to be disciplined and high stakes to make the situation essential to you and personal. These are the two major ways to begin developing your discipline, but there's one more: the right amount of effort. It is something that most people actually don't mention, but is undoubtedly the most crucial phase. To comprehend this better, let's examine the actual functioning of your mind. The only primal function of your brain is survival. It essentially controls your body to prevent death. Although it's obviously far more complicated than that, for the purposes of what we are going to say, This is all you need to know right now. Even though its primary duty is to ensure your survival, it occasionally sends the wrong messages. For instance, your mind frequently exaggerates the amount of work needed to complete a task. It does this to conserve energy so you will have enough power to flee in the incredibly typical scenario when a lion jumps on you from a bush. It is basically procrastination. Procrastination is essentially when you put off doing something because you think it will take too much effort, which causes your body to transmit signals that you are exhausted. This explains why you can occasionally feel exhausted despite doing nothing. So why is it crucial to understand this? Overscheduling and overcommitting are the most common mistakes people make when trying to be disciplined. You think that you might spend today as a couch potato and tomorrow as a Navy SEAL. You start a 25-minute YouTube workout video, but after a while the rush fades. Your mind takes over and says, "No way, we're not doing that." However, if you want to maintain this over time, you can fight your own thoughts every day, which is where putting in the right amount of effort is important. Basically, you need something challenging enough to exercise your willpower, but not too challenging that your mind starts telling your body to stop. The more often you do this, the simpler it gets. Your mind won't perceive the effort as being as difficult as it once did as you start to handle greater exertion. In this way, discipline can be developed through time and added to your arsenal of skills. This explains why seeing someone who's incredibly disciplined makes you think, "I'll never be able to accomplish that," although they have been doing it for a long time. They were in the right context for the right reason, and now it takes less work since that is just how things are. Now, we always work to develop discipline because it makes things simpler. You see, maintaining discipline is about freedom, not about becoming extremely successful or well-known. You must practice financial discipline if you want financial freedom. You must be strict with your time management if you want time freedom. You must be diligent with your priorities if you want life freedom. Discipline is not a strategy to exhaust yourself with little rest. There is nothing more to it than a way for you to do what must be done in order to appreciate that. If you do these three things, you will develop discipline, reason, context, and the right amount of effort. If you do this correctly, in 6 months, you'll be a totally different person. Check out our latest video. You can also check out this playlist. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. This is the Financial Fortune, and thank you for watching.